Chapter 4, Enigmas on the Road, Part 1. The odyssey of Ilian and the Scarlet Sword continued, plunging them into unknown landscapes full of enigmas. As they progressed on their epic journey, they ventured into a world where each step was a new mystery to discover. Their next destination takes them to a mysterious forest, where a vital part of the sword's history is believed to lie. Navigating through dense trees, Ilian comes across an ancient temple, covered in overgrowth and oblivion. The mystical inscriptions on the ancient walls of the temple suggested the presence of something of great importance inside. The Scarlet Sword, with its magical intuition, pointed towards the heart of the temple. Ilian advanced guided by the energy of the sword, with a growing feeling that the unknown awaited. The sounds around Ilian were a constant echo of creaks and drips, as if the worn walls of the temple were whispering forgotten secrets. The atmosphere was cold and tense as he cautiously moved towards the center of the temple. A wide chamber was revealed before him, and in its center, an altar emanated a brilliant light that illuminated the entire room. On the altar, a golden glow surrounded a glowing object. This object was a shiny metal piece that rested on a marble slab. On the edge of the tabernacle, a plaque could be seen with an enigmatic inscription that read, "The brave man who deciphers this riddle will be worthy of possessing this piece of armor." The words seemed to vibrate with ancient power, and the Scarlet Sword hummed in response to the challenge. Ilian found himself intrigued and challenged, ready to confront the enigma that stood between him and the valuable piece of armor. Before the resplendent altar, an ancient enigma rose in all its splendor. To obtain the piece, the mind must be sharpened with skill. Count the rays of the moon in the night sky, then add the stars, an exact number. This divine number, as old as time, opens the way to the piece in this temple without an owner. But be careful, because error will not be tolerated, and in the darkness of oblivion, your worth will remain. Ilian, standing before the glowing altar, stared at the enigmatic inscription on the marble plaque. The words of the riddle spun in his mind as the Scarlet Sword hummed with anticipation. Before the glowing altar, an ancient enigma stands, Ilian murmured, reflecting on the words of challenge. To obtain the piece, the mind must be sharpened with skill. As he looked up at the sky through an opening in the roof of the temple, he observed the stars shining in the darkness. He began to count the rays of the moon in the night sky, slowly, one by one, until he reached a precise number. Then, he counted the stars, one by one, making sure not to leave any uncounted. Add the stars, an exact number, Ilian murmured as he did the calculations in his mind. At last, when he had the total number, he looked again at the inscription on the marble plaque. His fingers trembled slightly as he wrote it on a designated space on the altar. "This is the number I found," he announced, with a mix of excitement and anticipation. The words of the inscription seemed to vibrate with a soft hum, and the golden glow around the object on the altar intensified. The object detached itself from the altar and floated in the air before sliding towards Ilian. Carefully, Ilian secured the piece in place, and the sword and armor merged into a deeper magical connection. The piece of armor fit perfectly, an ornate chest protector giving him added protection and confidence. With the new piece and with greater confidence, they advance through the forest. But their journey leads them to an even greater challenge, when they stumble upon a group of warlocks and witches gathering around a smoking cauldron. The witches, thirsty for power, wish to seize the Scarlet Sword for their dark rituals. The battle that unfolds is a spectacle of magic and cunning, with spells and curses flying in all directions. Ilian and the sword fight with precision, using both physical strength and the magic that flows through the sword. The warlocks and witches conjure storms and ghostly creatures to confront Ilian, but he and the sword resist, deploying lightning and flames that drive their enemies back. The Scarlet Sword emits a deep red glow as Ilian fights bravely, and in a burst of accumulated power. Ilian and the Scarlet Sword unleash a magical discharge, enveloping the warlocks and witches in a vortex of dazzling energy. The sorcerers are thrown to the ground, unable to maintain their magic. The earth shakes with the force of the magical explosion, and a tense silence hangs over the battlefield. Slowly, Ilian stands up, still holding the scarlet sword that shines brighter than ever. The warlocks and witches, defeated and powerless, witness the power that resides in the scarlet sword. Ilian calmly warns them that he will use his power wisely and responsibly and that the sword will not fall into the wrong hands. However, before leaving the scene of the battle, his eyes fall on a dark corner where a magical creature, a prisoner of the witches, lies captive. With a compassionate gesture, Ilian frees the creature, who gratefully whispers to him a secret clue that will guide them to the ancient city of Taro. Ilian kneels next to the freed creature, a beautiful, ethereal magical creature named Gajuan. His eyes shine with gratitude as they speak with words that resonate in Ilian's mind. Gajuan pleased, "Thank you, brave traveler, for freeing me from the chains of darkness. Your heart is pure and your intentions are noble. Allow me to offer you a clue that will help you in your quest. You must head to the ancient city of Taro, where the secrets of the Scarlet Sword await you. But be careful, for the dangers that lie in wait on your path are many. Grateful Ilian, your words are an unexpected gift in our quest. How should I reach Taro and what challenges must we overcome?" Gajuan advising, "Follow the guidance of the Scarlet Sword, for it will lead you towards the city. However, be aware that in the magical forest of whispers, you will face a riddle that only those with pure hearts can solve. The correct answer will pave your way. Next, you must navigate an underground labyrinth full of deadly dangers and magical guardians. But, don't worry, you are destined to succeed." Ilian nods gratefully, understanding the importance of this information. With one last glance at Gajuan, he rises and prepares for the next leg of his journey towards the ancient city of Taro, aware of the challenges that await in the magical forest of whispers. Thus, the battle comes to an end, not only with the defeat of the enemies, but with a demonstration of the accumulated power of the Scarlet Sword and its commitment to a higher purpose.